up, say? Yeah.
What's going on? I'm Will,
And I'm Steven.
and this is Post P Chronicles. So we got a great guest for you today, and we are talking to my man Z. What's going on, Z? How you doing today, bro?
Man, life is amazing. I'm doing
Amazing. What makes life so amazing? Please tell us what's so amazing about life right now.
Not only so I wake up every morning to my wife, the love of my life. I
Okay.
wake up to her smile, I wake up to her kisses, I wake up to her attitude, I wake up to her, so that's the part of life that's amazing. Not only that, I've been out 2 months now.
2 months? Been out of what?
Prison.
Oh my goodness, you was locked up? You was locked up?
Yeah, but I've been out of prison for 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, I got a job. Good job. A career starting job.
Wow.
That started benefits immediately too. Got benefits immediately. Not only that, I got my license within the next month. So everything that I've been planning and have plans in my life, it's been unfolding. So my life right now is amazing.
It's amazing.
I'm at peace. I don't have I'm not carrying no dead weight. So my sons love me. My mom's proud of me. My wife trusts me. I trust myself. So life is beautiful right now.
All right. That's a beautiful thing. So, you did say that you have so many blessings going on right now.
Yeah.
But in order for people to really appreciate the blessings that you have now, let's talk about where you've been. So where are you from?
I'm from LA. I'm from a hood that's like borderline South Central and Compton.
Okay.
So it's looking at it now from an adult perspective, there's a lot of things that I was seeing and trying to interpret as a child that I should have never saw in my life. I'm talking about domestic violence. I'm talking about drug addiction. That's worse. I live next to a drug house. Drug house. So I saw people on Sherman running naked, ladies performing all type of things, and I'm sitting from my yard and nobody is telling me like, "Hey, go in the house." Hey, that's not right. It always was seen from like a joke perspective, so me being a kid and seeing the dysfunction of it all, I joined the group as a kid, just looked like and laughing at a person running down the street naked, holding a pole, thinking it's funny. But the reality is, this man just lost his man, or this woman just lost her mind.
So what age were you when all these things were going on?
I'm talking from like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, this is almost like a daily occurrence for you too. So you're kind of desensitized to the, like you said, dysfunction of it all.
Yeah. So like I grew up on San Pedro, right? And one of in my neighborhood, it was really like a bad street. And growing up, mom, and one thing I want to always give my mom respect though, my mom was a drug addict for a while. She got herself clean, been clean ever since. When she had me and my little brothers, that's the time she like got sober. But the mental effects of that, the aggressive behavior, her not knowing how to raise a kid, so she let my uncles or my cousins and the neighborhood homies raise me. You feel me? So there was a lot of fear going up. I was always punched, or told to put your hands up. And there was a point to where I felt like I developed a different type of relationship with fear. Like it was an expectation, like something was always gonna happen. Like there was a point for instance, I came from school. Came home from school. And we all bloods around the area and all that. And I remember coming I think like 8 or 9, and I remember coming home from school because I got to my teacher and I said blood or something like that, and they had my uncles and cousins wait for me in the front yard. They're like, "Oh, you want to gangbang now? Like, you really want to talk that? All right, we got you." So they had them rush me in the front yard, and I ended up running into the house, running to my mama. And she like I remember because it was profound because I lost trust for her. I remember she told me I ran into her like, breathing hard, scared, frantic, like, oh, they really punching me. This ain't no body shots. This is like, hey,
Yeah.
hit me in the face. You feel me?
Yeah.
And she's like, man, take your punk ass outside. I ain't raising no punk. And just to give you a little backstory on that, you know, my older brother, they already assumed he was gay. So I think that's why she turned a blind eye to like what was going on in my life. You know, the constant beating, holding me down, kicking me. Like, you know, my cousins toughing me up, making me more a
Yeah.
man. And I felt like I was getting punched because of him.
So your
So
mom wanted a tough son.
that part. Now I gotta be the protector. It's my older brother, and now he can't have it. So it gotta go to me. So she's felt like she don't know how to raise a boy, so she let them do it, and all they know is violence.
Mm.
So let's call it what it is. I mean, it sounds like you're a victim of domestic abuse as a child.
Yeah, yes, very much so. But I don't think she represented it that way because in her mind, she was preparing me for what was to come. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was evil all around. Like, you know, it's like we're not gonna sugarcoat it. Like it's very violent around there. So them holding me down and kicking me and punching me and telling me not to scream or they gonna get worse and all these other things, you feel me, was a sign that, oh, we just boys being boys. So to go back to the story, I ran to my mom, she told me I ain't raising no punk, like kind of like ushered me back outside, like go get what you got coming. So in the midst of me going back, I try to fight back. I get punched. It's slip over. Like a little. My grandma got like a little brick to where the glass window is right there. I slipped over that, and my head went straight to the glass, and all this was open. I'm talking about hanging. I'm 8. I didn't cry. I was more so shocked than anything.
Right.
And when she came out there, she heard the glass. Like, what's going on? Here it is. Blood is going down my face. She's screaming. She's frantic. But when she came to hug me, I tensed up on her, and I knew I couldn't trust my mom like that no more. Like, you don't got me. So that level, I felt like that level of fear growing up and becoming hyper vigilant, like with people, came from like not feeling a sense of trust because it was like a constant thing. Like I was expecting it. It's crazy that I think about this now because this is where I became violent. When I started to fight back, that's when it started to like give me some sense of respect. And the more that I was praised for reacting violently, gave me a sense of belief. Okay, this is what a man does. Like when it's something I don't like. I can respond violently and get the respect or the safety that I need. And the reality is, I was fighting fear. I didn't want to be hit no more. I didn't want to be bullied no more. I didn't want to be seen as weak, and I don't want to be seen as my brother. So these type of mentalities that I was developing as a kid led me to be, hey, it's no mercy. Once I developed that mentality of no mercy, the natural side of myself, the loving, happy, go take out the trash for all the neighborhood ladies that I know from my street. That kind of like it was there, but it was like the evil side
Took
of
it
me.
back.
Yeah, the aggressive side came up.
So
So
let me ask you a question. So, and again, I'm sorry all this happened to you, right?
yeah,
But that happened when you was 9 years old, and now you turn into something different, right? You said the nurturing side of you, that good-hearted nature of you, that took a back seat to
yeah.
the person that you became. That person led you to incarceration. So how did that whole transformation take? We know how it took place, but paint the picture for us. How did 14, 15, 16? What
Okay.
do those years look like?
Okay, so like I say, I was born in a neighborhood to where it's surrounded by, gang activity. But it was represented to us as family. These are my family. This is my area where I grew up from. This is my home. This is my tribe.
Right.
So being 12 and 11 or 10, saying blood and pretending to we're acting like we're gang banging and stuff like that, that graduates to actually gang banging. I remember my house burned down, right? That's why I know the seriousness of gang banging. My house burned down and we had to move. And then my mama chose to move to a location that was a rival gang, right? So when I got there to the actual apartment, I mean the actual house, you feel me, on between San Pedro and all that, and I was outside and they asked me, 'cause I don't red. Like, where you from? Me in my ignorance, because again, I was ignorant to things outside of us. You know, I hear about them, you know, they bad at enemies, XYZ, but I never experienced it. And this would develop the belief like, hey, you know, y'all are my enemy. Because as soon as I said what I said, they attacked, held me down, they burnt my arm with ink. I don't know who carries a pen and thinks of lighting ink, but they burnt me. Where's the scar? I have the scar right here. Still have it to this day. I don't know if y'all can barely see it. But they held me down, they kicked me, they beat me. I never cried. I was used to being abused, so I've never cried. And was told I was a sign of weakness. So I might have moaned and, you know, and all that. And it shocked them so much to where after that, yeah, they jumped me a couple more times. And then I ended up checking into a Crips school. I got jumped a couple of times. But once they started to see that I wasn't scared. They didn't know I was conditioned to take this type of abuse.
Right.
So they started to accept me. But then it developed another set of things. Okay, I got their respect now. This is how you get it. You got to be G. You got to be, you know. It's that this is what led to actually gangbanging and what led up to my incarceration. You know, I was sentenced to 5 counts of second-degree robbery. You know, I lost respect for people. Growing up, seeing evil, seeing my friend get killed in front of my eyes, seeing a car pulling up, just shooting, it's so many different killings and so many different acts of violence that I saw. My mind state and the fear that I had, like I said, me and fear have a different relationship, but it ain't gonna be me. I refuse. So it made me hyper violent. And I wouldn't, and I'm gonna say this because it's hard to like separate the two. You talk about violence, because violence is what it is. I don't never want to like negate that. You feel me? But I wasn't a foul person. I didn't prey on women. I didn't hit kids. I never was like an overly sexual person. Like I had my morals. It's just when it came to gangbanging, I was violent. You get what I'm saying? So I don't ever want to, you know, but it still was a bad part of me. I don't never want to negate that, but that's what led me to 24 years in prison.
24 years in prison. So let's talk about that. So you were conditioned at this time. So I'm pretty sure once you went to prison, there was no fear attached to it because fear was beaten out of you when you was 9 years old.
I'm talking about,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you go to the county jail, it's even worse because now it's up close and personal. Now it's hand-to-hand combat. There's nowhere to run, and it's just pure aggression. This is the county jail, LA County Jail. And I'm 18 with grown men. You know, so the manipulation process, the learning new politics, the officers playing their part in it. You know, I would jump for 2 weeks straight when I first got to LA jail because I didn't want to be too close up on a dude sitting, what they call it, nut the butt. I refuse to do that. So they asked me where I'm from. Again, tough me, tough old doobie. You know, I'm from Wooty Woo. They said, okay, we got something for you. They end up putting me in my enemy module. They jumped me for 2 weeks straight. I don't know if y'all can see my face like that, but I have scars. I think it was right. I got scars.
Yeah.
Eyes open multiple times, but I never ran. I never wrote it up. So they thought that was being tough. You know, I had to endure this violence. You know, this is the mindset. This is our mindset. Look, I had to endure that to be considered tough.
Yeah, your mindset back then is just like, okay, I got to take this beating because no one's going to break me because I got to show them how tough I am.
I swear. Like, and it's crazy. I look at it from adult age. Like, bro, you really like. And I want to point this out, so because we're finna go into the prison that I am the maker of everything outside of. Like when I turned 12, I accept every responsibility now as an adult because I know I initiated all that. I chose the gangbang. I chose to do this, even though I didn't understand the ramifications of it. But I still have to stand in truth and say, "Hey, I did that."
You're not gonna sit here and say you're a victim and
No,
your brain
no,
screwed you over and this
no,
is straight from the hood, product of who I am.
And no, we all have choices. We all have
But
choices.
Can I challenge that for a moment?
Yeah.
I want to challenge that just for a moment because yes, we do make decisions.
Yes.
You know that lead us down certain paths. But you were a victim. You were 12 years old. you were a victim from the very beginning. It doesn't matter that we're adults now. As an adult, yes, but our brains are not fully developed until we're 25. And at 12 years old, people have an obligation to teach you right from wrong, an obligation to make sure you're safe, an obligation to put you on a right path. And instead of those things, you were beaten and you were told violence is the only way to show how you're a man, the only way to accept things or to give things, right? Beat people and you'll get the respect.
Yeah.
Hurt people and you'll get love.
Yeah.
That's
So
the only thing you were conditioned to do. So you were a victim.
yeah, okay, yeah. So I want to say, yes, I was a victim, right? In certain aspect, right? But I did have people outside of me, outside of my family, say, "Hey, that ain't the way to go. And if
Yeah.
you do this, you're gonna crash." And I chose to hone on to because I had friends that grew up the same way, but they chose to play sports. So when we talk about having choices and knowing what feels bad, it feels right. You feel me? You chose to like, hey, this feel better for me, even though it's wrong. That's why I take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean,
know?
I love that as an adult, you should take responsibility. It's a double-edged sword, though, because I mean, you don't know what you don't know, and you
Yeah.
don't know when you're getting
Yeah.
beat, but you
Yeah.
got a better option because you're getting beat, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that as an adult, we do have to go back and say, hey, everything I did, every crime I committed, every violent act I committed, I own it. That was me. I'm sorry. I needed change. As a kid, like Will said, the brain may not be as fully developed. And you're right. A parent's job is to protect their child. So you can say that they let you down, but as well as you did have those friends that made it out and got out of those circumstances. But
Yeah.
what matters isn't, what what I always tell people that I mentor, it's not about what you did, it's about what you do going forward. And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like you have completely owned up to what you're doing, and what you're doing going forward is what matters. I mean, thank God you survived all those situations and now you're came out on the other side. And yeah, obviously you had to eventually own up to what you did because it put you in prison or LA County jail at 18, right? And I'm sure at 18 you weren't like, man, I shouldn't be here.
And the sad part is I was so detached from reality that you go to juvenile hall, you go to camp. So going to the LA County jail prepared me, but not really prepared me, but like made it normal for me to be controlled or caged. And I'm gonna say it like that because like when I got there, it took me close to I want to say 14 years to actually mourn my freedom. When I got sentenced to 24 years, I didn't blink. You know what I did? I went back and started looking for fights. I started looking for to hang out, looking for who had weed to smoke or Pruno to drink. You feel me? Like this is how we develop negative coping mechanism skills because coping skills is because that's why I chose to deal with the reality. Like, hey, bro, you can be gone for possibly the rest of your life. And I got to Corcoran State Prison, which they represented as one of the worst prisons to ever be at, level 4. They sent me to level 4 when I was 18. So that's another fear unlocked. I'm going to this fear, oh, you're not finna touch me, you're not finna hurt me, you're not finna make me a torpedo, you're not doing all that. So in my mind, I'm somebody, which I could say I am somebody because all the respect I've gained, which doesn't mean anything in reality. But hey, when I got there, hey, oh, you already know who I am. You already know how I'm gonna move. So that in itself, and me wanting to have that type of recognition, open myself to be susceptible to influence. You feel me? Because it came with the admiration. Oh, he liked me. It's a homie. Oh, he got a name. So now he putting evil in my ear, manipulating. So now I'm involved. I'm talking about. I went to level 4. Now I was active. Like I don't want to negate. Like I'm going. Like let's go. I'd have been in multiple riots. I'm talking about hoes. I'm talking about shoes. We talking about the real prison stuff they talk about. Police open the doors middle of the night, trying to get you killed or hurt. It's always be your cell and it's like 2 other cells. And Magmo, you can, we done been in it,
Yeah.
like, and that that level of like terror and new fear unlocked, I dug deep into myself. Oh man, I'm gangbanging now. I'm really here. We present politicking. That lasted for like, I want to say 14 to 15 years after I actually like woke up to myself. And I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't just me that helped me get there. It was my wife. My wife
Let's
said,
backtrack real quick. You
okay.
went from LA County Jail to saying you got 24 years in prison. What events transpired after LA County Jail at 18 to you get 24 years?
No, when I went to County Jail, that was for the 5 counts of robbery. So I was in the county jail at 18, got sentenced right before my birthday. Got sentenced right before my
Hell of
birthday.
a present.
Hell of a
Hell of
present.
a present.
Gave me 24 years. I go straight to prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
From there, I never got out of county jail. I've been locked up the whole time.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then you said the turning point in prison, you mentioned her multiple times now as the wife.
Oh man,
Tell us about, like Will was telling us earlier, a lot of people are fascinated. I'm fascinated by prison relationships, how they work. Obviously, it sounds like it saved your life. Give us a little backstory. How'd you meet? How'd that transpire? How did it grow? And
Okay.
fill us in.
So me and my wife met through a mutual friend. Right now, we feel we encountered each other a couple of times on the streets, but like she's a couple of years older than me, so the like the time was kind of like off, right? But to say like we started talking over the phone through a mutual friend, and she was coming to see one of my friends that I grew up with, and she's like, you know what, I might as well pull you out. But in the midst of like that process, we were building. We had to understand that we would just be friends. She's like, hey, look, I go to college, like educated woman. I go to college, very expressive. This is what I loved about her because she was different for everything I knew. Like she never held back herself. Like she talked about her pain, she talked about life, she talked about education, she talked about the struggles, but it never was the point of like weakness, it's more so her strength. And I ain't never heard nobody talk like that. Hey, I wasn't even talking like that. So to have an educated woman that kind of like inspired me, and I'm looking like, cause she having conversations and I should be thinking about like the levels was different. And I'm like, whoa, she sees some type of interest in me, even on the friend level. So we talking, and you mind if I say it? Oh well, her grandma ended up passing on my birthday, and her great grandma passed on my birthday, and it wasn't I knew I was developing feelings for her because it wasn't about me on that day. You feel me? I wanted to make sure she was mentally straight. That loving side of me that I know that I'm a caring person. You know me, like I'm a real friend.
Yeah.
Like pain, like if you need me, I got you. So I'm feeling her pain, and I had like a real deep, like profound feeling to make sure she okay. And once I realized, like I'm going to feel this for you, we still at the like I said, she's a businesswoman. She's in college. She's like living life, but we're talking and communicating. And I learned how to write and express myself. And this is what I appreciate through letters because she had some questions, not like, like, oh man, I can't go into detail, but it's like she's asking me questions about life and my experiences that I couldn't articulate it and it bothered me. I felt like I shut down because I couldn't express it. I didn't have the knowledge to express it.
Now, in your life up to that point, it sounds like she was able to peel back that layer because you're this tough guy, doesn't have emotions, no one's beating up on you, no one's getting the best of you, no one's making you crack. And she's asking you these questions where you're going to have to dig a little deeper and kind of almost explore your emotions and ideas. And is that kind of what happened?
Yes, absolutely. To the T, you nailed it. And I liked it that. I liked it that I could be vulnerable with it, and it went from a judgment. And it was I talked about my past with my moms, not really feeling like the nurturing side of my moms, and you know, going up with different ideas, and she just like challenged it. Like she just challenged everything I felt like mentally. So when we finally had the visit, and I finally was able to hold in my hands and kiss her, and I really had like so much energy and so much excitement by kissing her to where she came back by herself to Salinas Valley, drove all the way up there. Like I don't know what that was, but
a hell of a kiss. That's what it was.
You know,
Like those
so,
movie kisses.
yeah, like we had it, but it was like it's different from her. She didn't ever deal with nothing like this. So the fact that this is so out of her comfort zone was like, hey, I came up here because I like you as a person, and I'm right up in my homegirl, and it like blossomed to something else. And this is the sad part, right? When we finally started to go hey, it's just us, because she grew up and father and two-parent home, like she no values that's beyond my understanding. I never saw that. So she was like, hey, it's you. You feel me? And only you. But I come from the streets, man. You can't trust nobody. That's what I was taught. Like, so my focus was more so still in the prison politics, the more so focused on our love. And yet we were together. And I want to point this out too. And this is one of the goodest things that I'm sorry I'm breaking it. I have never cheated on my wife. Hey, I'm talking about when I mean by cheating, I had other girls come to see me. I have wasn't writing, entertaining any girls. Once we became like us, like, hey, we together, like it's been we've been together 15 years now. I have never cheated on my wife. I knew she was special. I knew I had everything that I even know I wanted in a woman. And slowly but surely, and I appreciate her patience. This is what she taught me. She felt like I always say she don't got no patience, but she got patience because she chipped away at me. Like she
Interrogated.
interrogated me
Yeah.
profusely throughout the years, to where one day um we were talking, but she was silent. She was tired of my BS. I was fighting still. And she said something like, you 30 something, you still fighting? Like you don't know how to communicate? Like, what are you talking
Mm.
about? She like, and I asked her, like, I remember saying, like, hey babe, like it's me and you on the hill. She said, no, I'm at the top of the hill. But it was a place, it was a place of like, I felt the respect lost. You feel me? And
Mm.
that it scared. I'm talking about it scared me because I never heard her talk to me in that way, and I didn't know, understand, and to react or just be like to shut down. More so like, wait, I ain't on the hill with you. She said, nah, I've been up here. You've been down there. You've been hanging out.
Mm.
And I got the phone, was sitting there like, what you mean ain't on the hill? Like the respect, like I value respect and love. You feel me? And I felt like she didn't have it for me. I sat there in the cell and I thought about it. Like, wait, what? What? Oh man, I can't lose this. I can't lose this. And then talk to my son. And he's saying things like, man, you ain't even home yet. So these type of events like clicked in my mind to where I said, oh, hey bro, like it's time for you to wake up. Like you really gotta wake up. And I told her, like, hey, I promise you I'm gonna do better. She said, all right, I give
Mm.
you a chance. I give you a chance. Man, bro, you remember, I give you a chance. You feel me?
Yeah.
I,
I can
I,
I can honestly say, because again, we did time together.
yeah.
We was on the yard together, and you was always one of the funniest guys, man. Like we would chop it up all the time. So, and I knew who who you were before,
Yeah.
right? But we didn't represent that at that time in our life because we were on this transformation already.
Yeah.
We had already started. I was starting my transformation. You were starting your
Yeah.
transformation, and even though we were still affiliated,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Our actions were different. It's we'll do something if we have to do something,
Have to
right?
do.
But we're not looking for problems no more. And so it's refreshing to see where your change
Yeah.
emanated from,
Yeah.
you know. And now towards the end of your time, and you've been on this journey. You said now you're about to get to the top of that hill. How was that when you start to climb the hill and start to, turn your back on who the old you was?
And that's really good. I really appreciate that question, because anybody that tell you they changed their life, they gotta talk about pain. They
Mm.
gotta talk about anxiety. Like your subconscious mind is so used to reacting to life a certain way, and when you actually educate yourself, the power of knowledge doesn't allow you to sit in ignorance no more. You can't say you don't know something no more. Your mind won't allow you to. So
Mm-hmm.
I went through a stage of anxiety because I had a way of dealing with life, and to change that, it's like my subconscious didn't know how to react to certain things because now I'm taking control of my life. It's automatic. Like, you know, you get aggressive, I get aggressive. You know, I take a space. These are all the things I learned about myself. And like I say, it's anxiety, it's uncertainty. You know, how do people react to me like letting small like because my
Things.
like because my thing is like building beliefs. You know, you gotta really like build the beliefs that the man you want to be. And I had to learn,
Mhm.
like I want to be honest. Not just in how I speak and how I deal with people, like in my actions. Like, hey, look, I'm straight across. It made me more assertive to be honest with how I'm feeling without feeling weak. So these type of changes that I was going through, like it was difficult to feel comfortable in the new me. And I'm gonna say the grown me. I'm a grown man. And I pride myself on saying that because I don't move unless I want to move.
Right.
I'm talking
So
about anything.
Z,
Yeah.
let me ask you this question. You just said something pretty profound. The power of knowledge doesn't allow you to be ignorant. I
Mm.
love that.
Yeah.
So there's guys out there in prison that are going to be listening to this.
Yeah.
How do they get the knowledge? How do they enlighten themselves? How do they learn so they can no longer be ignorant? What resources did you use to do that self work that prevented this ignorance, that gave you this knowledge that now you can be a critical thinker, self actualization, deal with your feelings and conflicts and anxiety? What tools did you use for those out there that's listening that like, man, I don't want to be, at the bottom of the hill either. I'm trying to get to the top and be a new man. What can you tell them they should be doing?
Okay, so the first thing you have to do, right? You have to do an introspection. I remember talking to Black Boy at a cell. He was talking because we both going through the board process. So the board process forces you to look at yourself like deeply. Like, you have to develop insight. And he was talking about his life. I'm like, man, we went the same experience, just different like locations. So the one thing you have to do first, the first thing you have to learn yourself. You have to go through that introspection. You know, honestly, like you really have to become an objective thinker in your own life to where you can step outside your emotion and look like, okay, I was wrong at that. Regardless of how that situation made me feel, I responded negatively to that. So I feel like introspection is one of the most powerful things you can go through. The second is always going to be knowledge for me. I have to learn about cognitive behavior. I have to learn about triggers. I have to learn about my triggers. It's all about me. What bothers me, what I don't like. How can I respond differently? What can I do to make me more comfortable reacting the new way? You feel me? Because like again, like I used to fight. Like you want to fight? Quick to it. Hey, you want to fight? Like so now I say, I make it a point to like express how I feel or say it to where take the violence out of like, hey, look, I'm not even tripping like that, but I do want to tell you how you made me feel that situation. And it throws people off. Like initially, I'm taking all control of it because like sometimes you gotta learn to think for people, especially in an environment like that.
Yeah.
So my thing is express like, hey, bro, it's not even that serious. I just want to let you know, like, hey, that bothered me. I don't
That's
care.
fair.
All right, but I got it out. And walk off. The art of leaving, I developed a two-step out of this world. Like I curve somebody fast. Like you feel me? Because I don't my pride is not in it no more.
Hmm.
I'm pride. You have to develop pride in yourself to where you in control to where it doesn't bother you as much to where you can like, throw away your life. And
Yeah.
okay, the third, and this is important too, prioritizing. What's important to you? If my freedom, my wife, my kids, and my success is important to me, there's nothing that can like mess that up. And that's how I got my wife to trust me again. Like
Hmm.
when I changed my life, and it took me some months to change my life to really like, okay, I'm done. And being done and really standing on decisions, you feel me? And I want to say this to the group where I was looking out there, start making small decisions and sticking to it to where your mind naturally adapts to that type of thinking. When I say I don't do nothing, I don't do it. I don't care. I make my mind up, but I rarely take suggestions like with anything, so like,
You know, I want to chime in on this one, bro, because I don't think people understand how powerful that is, right? Like you've been conditioned to do one thing one way for 20 plus years of your life,
yeah,
20 plus years of your life, and then to not do that in an environment where not doing it, not responding in violence or anger can get you hurt.
Yeah.
Right? The people that you call friends, the people you call associates, your car, oh, you let somebody talk to you crazy and you just gonna walk away?
Yeah.
Well, now we gonna get you.
Yeah. And that's a serious thing. You feel me? And this is where the power review come in, right? Because one of my greatest strengths, I'm not afraid of nobody. I know what I'm capable of. I'm not finna listen, I'm not actively violent towards nobody no more. I push peace. Like, and when we go into about my release, I'm gonna tell you a story. It's funny, right? But I push peace or over anything now. Like if I can curve it, I'll curve it. Like no matter what it is. Hey, go ahead. As long as you don't touch me, you don't hurt my wife, you ain't playing. You know, like there's certain things to where hey, I protect mine, but I'm not actively pursuing violence, you know, to like settle like you stared at me wrong. I don't care about that. You know, this is part of the growth. You know, you stop caring about childish things. Like I don't care what you said about me. And another thing you have to do if you want to like really like step out of prison, you got to get out that community mindset. Straight up. Like I can't care about what you do. Like I have to like really detach that personal attachment to what other people do because it's involved the collective. I'm a grown man. I'm a husband. I'm a father. You know,
And that's what's most important.
That's my priority. So I have to like say, hey, I don't care that you owe this man debt. I don't care that you let this man talk to you. It does not affect me anymore. And it took me time to get to this place, but it can't happen. Like you don't need these people to see you because the reality is their opinion you don't matter because it does not feed you. I stopped being fed by the negativity of prison. My wife feeds me.
Yeah, and these men are not, their best interest is not about you getting home to your wife.
No.
You know, I love, it almost sounds like you were always been a man of conviction, but you became a man of conviction for the right things. You know what I mean? Family, love, the things that are actually important in life. You're like, you know what, my community and all those things, they're not, you know, it's like those people are like, hey, if you don't pay my bills, I don't care what you have to say, right? These people you care about, you know, I'm married too. Number one opinion first.
Yeah.
You know, God's opinion of me and then my wife's opinion of me. Anyone else's opinion, I don't care. Those don't matter in my opinion because those are what helps run and what's going to affect my life the most. You know, another thing I love that you said is your feelings. You know, you're allowed to have feelings, but there's a saying out there that feelings aren't facts, right? Yeah. Hey, I'm just going to get my feelings out. You know, I'm allowed to experience this, but I don't have to act on these feelings. Just because I'm offended doesn't mean that I'm entitled to react on those feelings that I need to fight now. You know, whatever. That's just a feeling. Absorb it, think it through, work through it, move on. That's a feeling, you know, and society likes to be like, we base our whole life off feelings. And it's like feelings should not dictate your life. Yeah. So I just love all these principles you're putting down. And whoever's out there right now, you need a paper and a notepad. You should be writing these things down because this is good stuff.
Yeah, I thought about doing that like right now, right? So like I'm going to college right now for counseling addiction, not just about drugs, about the lifestyle. Like, you know, getting swarmed up in the lifestyle, you can like really like get lost in it. It could be like a thrill for you. So I want to do counseling for that, go back to the prison to talk about that because again, like people in prison know me. Like I was politicking, I was involved, man. Man, I can tell you, like, hey, I'm out there actually like tripping, as they say, you know. But like I grew up, and my life is blessed. I got my own apartment. I'm on the lease. You know, I work every day. I go to the gym. I feed myself. My wife feeds me, and that's another thing. So people got to find something that feeds them, like feeds their soul. Like you married, you know, like so you're married, right, Matt Bo? You just found a person that feeds you.
Yeah, she found me. I know. She feed me. She feed me.
It's a crazy feeling. Like you can't like put a name to it, but it's love, bro. It's devotion.
And it gives you a reason to live for something bigger than yourself, right? And when you have that, it's an amazing feeling because like you said, like same thing. I would never cheat. I would never do those things because I care so much and love my wife so much that that's someone I'm not willing to hurt. Right. Oh, yeah. And you know, you went through it where you actually hurt her and now you're like, I'm never doing that again. Never. And that's kind of how I feel. And it dictates my decisions in my career, my decisions in everything that I do, there's someone else relying on me. So it's like you're at someone that feeds you, someone that you're living for, and it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it's like a connection like I just never experienced. And like I say, it's devotion. It's like I want to take care of her. I want to make sure I take care of my kids. I want to put my wife in the house. I want to be her safe space. You feel me? Because she is mine. She gave me a peace of mind. My wife is a beautiful person. A beautiful person. Like I've never known a love like this. Like never. She treats me like a king, even though I still feel like I'm a prince. I really feel like I'm still learning the process. Until I put her in the house, you feel me? And I master this new self, I still feel like a prince, but she still say, you my king. And that goes with the respect level that still feeds me. You know what I'm saying? Like I got
Yeah.
some I got a woman that I don't want nothing else. I don't need nothing else. I'm building my foundation around her. So this is like I don't have the like I can't trust women mindset. I don't got none of that because God have shown me. And I want to say this quote I read in the book. It said, God will send his love in the form of the woman so that she will force you to step into your righteousness. And she's done that for me.
Yeah. And
She
it
has
sounds like your wife doesn't see what you are, she sees what you can be, and she's pushing you to your higher self, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And this lady got her master's. You know, she's an accomplished person. She's not like she's very independent, very strong-minded, and she submit to me. She told me that. And this is when she told me she submit to me, I didn't know what that meant. I had to go look it up.
Let me Google this.
Yeah, I had to go Google it. What does it mean when a woman says she submit to you? And this was the beautifulest thing I ever read. And just to see that level of trust made me more confident in men. Like, hey, I got you. Hey, I got
Yeah.
I got you.
Sure.
I love to love her. I openly love my wife. I kiss my wife. I take her out. I do great things. You saw the video.
I
Like,
say, what I say?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I like,
I showed my lady the video. I said, "Look at this. Look at this." Yeah. Man.
yeah, because
So,
go ahead.
so what's on the horizon for Z?
Oh
Now
man,
that man, and you got all these plans, you just got out, and you got to, it sounds like you're
yeah.
building an even more beautiful life with your wife. What is one of those goals that you made while you're in prison? You sounds like you want to go to school, but what's on the horizon now?
Oh, right now, well, I'm thinking about building a 5-year plan in this new company that I'm in. I've only been there but 2 months now, a month and some change, and they already building me through the company due to my work ethic. You know, I just filled out another application for the same job for a different position to add to my already position. I'm an environmental technician. Now I'm finna be a witness, a watcher, and some other things. So this is building my career in this company. I wasn't gonna get construction. Like I say, God put you in different positions, and I think I'm finna start a family with my wife. We finna start planning a child. Like again, I'm finna do TED Talks. I'm trying to get back into the prison to help people change their life. I don't know what you're writing, baby. What that say? Take care of my kids. I don't know what she just read. Told me. What did it say, baby? Oh, for sure. Be a better father to my kids. Help grow my family. This. I finna enjoy life. Like again, my life is all about prosperity. And if anybody's listening out there, there's a book that changed my life and it helped me guide me through myself and step into myself. It's called the Prosperity Bible.
Mm.
The Prosperity Bible.
Prosperity Bible.
It has like 7, 8, or 9 books in one. It's probably like $15. And it's like a thick book, but it got has a man thinketh in there, the master key. It has right here, it's by Napoleon Hill, Benjamin Franklin, James Allen, Wallace D. Wallace, Ernest Holmes, Florence Scovel Shinn, and many others.
Napoleon Hill, ain't that's Think and Grow Rich?
They can grow rich. It's called the
Yeah.
Prosperity Bible. But one of the things in this Bible, and sometimes the Bible thing throws people off, but it has to do with a man's consciousness, his spirituality, his prosperity. They talk about money, they talk about evolution, they talk about stepping into yourself. And one of the things that it always tell you is to take control of yourself. You know, the first, like, I think one of the first chapters I read, it said, what have you conquered as a man? Are you scared? What are your responsibilities? What do you take control of? So this book really changed my life, and I advise anybody listening or to pick up the book. Even if and this book is not to be read straight across. When you get the book, you open it, find it, just pick it up, open it, pick a chapter and read it. I'm telling you, it changed my life.
Well, I'm definitely going to order that book tonight.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe me and my lady can start reading it, you
Yeah,
know, prosper together. Hey, I appreciate you, Z. Man, you are a true blessing. Like Steven said, you just been dropping jewels throughout this episode. So the people listening, I hope they picking it up. I
Yes,
hope
sir.
they picking it up.
Yeah. Inspiring. I mean, there's nothing better than someone that could self-actualize
Self-actualize.
their problems and their issues, self-diagnose, and realize I want a better life and I'm going to do it and I'm not going to waver. And that's what you did. And like I said, you're a man of conviction and you're being blessed for it. And I love seeing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the interview, man. Y'all been amazing. And man, I look forward to many more, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, freedom looks good on you, man. Freedom looks good on you.
Man, freedom look good on you, man. Boy, you good, boy.
Man, I appreciate you, man. So once again, I'm Will.
And I'm Steven.
And this is the Post P Chronicles.
Hey, what up, say? Yeah.